What's going on, lovely people? Sir Steve here, bringing you a brand new Warzone video. So in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you 5 tips to help you improve in Rebirth Island in Warzone. These are just tips ranging from a few things like helping you get more money, a tip to help you at a certain part of the map, and then also just to help your team stay alive longer, which ultimately will give you a higher chance of winning. If you do find this video useful, if you could do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button, like button, turn the notifications on, it really helps out greatly. Let me know in the comments as well if there's any particular area you want me to cover with a future video. But without further ado, let's get straight into the tips. Now, coming into our first tip, this is to help you get a stupidly fast loadout. Now, when a lot of people land into a game of Rebirth, I feel like one of the first contracts they want to go for is either a scab or a bounty, and don't get me wrong, those do give you a good bit of money, but one of the better ones to go for is the supply run. The reason I say that is supply runs are so easy to complete in Rebirth compared to Verdansk. They tend to spawn at like the nearest buy station to you, which can be literally like a 10-second run, and when you do complete it, you tend to get $900 each, so that's easily covered the first half of the loadout. While you've been doing the supply run, the rest of your teammates can be looting up for money, and quite a bit of the time you'll easily have enough money for the loadout. The clip that's been running in the background, we get loadout money within about 30 seconds after landing. Another bonus to the supply run contract as well is that if you do die and then redeploy at a different part of the game, you can just land back on that buy station and get yourself a free self-revive, a discounted UAV, something like that. Moving into tip number 2, and this is a beautiful little jump spot that I've just started doing and I thought I'd share it with you. How many times have you found a team camping in this building? Yeah. It can be a bit of a nightmare. There's only one way to get up through the stairs. They're going to have claymores. They've got bouncing Bettys on there. One of them's lying in prone. They got a sentry gun. They got everything in there to camp for about a year. But there's a little jump spot here. What you do is you go up the ladder on this building, get to the top, and then you jump through the window. You do want to open your parachute as that helps you cover the distance that's needed. You're inside the building then. You won't believe how many times you can get in this building. The little kids camping in there don't have a clue about this spot, so you can just easily pick 1 or 2 of them off, jump back out the window, push up the stairs. It just absolutely throws awful teams off that are camping in there. So moving into tip number 3, this is calling in your loadout. Typically in Verdansk, you'll call the loadout in, you'll only use it once, and then it'll collapse. Rebirth, sometimes you can use your loadout twice, so when you're buying one, you want to call it in somewhere that's probably going to be safe for a later redeploy. The gameplay that's running in the background here, I could easily call the loadout in the courtyard. I take it onto the prison roof, that way if I have to land on there later in the game, someone's not just going to have a ridiculous amount of high ground on me, like if I called it in the courtyard. So when you are buying your loadout, just try and call it in somewhere that you think might be safe later in the game. So moving into tip number 4, some of you are going to say this is a little bit obvious, but you won't believe how many people have had come to me and say, did you know this was a thing in Rebirth? So what you want to do is when you kill someone, look at the minimap. The rest of that dude's team is going to show up on your minimap so you'll know where they are. I don't think people that are ghosted show, but either way, you're probably going to get some good info out of that to know where their teammates are. So if you either want to pull back if they're all holding hands, or if you want to push if it's a guy on his own, or 2 of them, something like that. So moving into tip number 5, this is keeping an eye on the timers in the bottom left-hand corner. How many times have you died and then realized that all your teammates are now dead, so you've got to go ahead and start another game? Just keep an eye on it now and then. If you see all your teammates are dead, just go ahead, chill for a sec, pick up a contract, open a loot crate. It'll speed up the redeploy time a little bit for your teammates. Like I said, you won't believe how many times I've died and then realized that all my teammates are dead, and I thought maybe if I just looked at that clock, waited a second or 2, someone would have redeployed back in, and then I could have gone ahead and pushed that whole 1v4 on my own. So yeah, those are the tips. As always, if you did enjoy today's video and you want to see more like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like button, turn the notifications on. I hope these tips have helped you out a little bit. Like I said, let me know in the comments if there's any other tutorials you want me to cover on Rebirth or regular Verdansk. Hope to catch you on the next video. Peace!